So keeping an eye on your numbers is going to help you make an awful lot more money in property in general, but obviously in serviced accommodation. And there's several things that you need to keep an eye on, and you definitely don't want to take your eye off the ball. So Caroline and I were having a little look at the different properties in the portfolio and actually seeing what's making money, what's not making money, what's making more money, the ones sometimes something might be making money but it's not making enough money. And you've also got to look at how much equity is sat in the property if you own it, and then you can decide on what is your return on cash employed. And if it's not good enough, that equity might serve you better pulling it out and putting it into something else that is working better. Because a lot of people, I've been guilty of this myself, get a bit complacent with property, and each month X amount's coming in. Let's say you've got 5 properties, service accommodation units, and you're making £5,000 a month, and you think, okay, that's great. But if you actually scrutinise better, you'd find out that 3 of them are making £2,000 a month. Let's get rid of that. And 2 of them are losing £500 a month, right? So you'd be better off getting rid of the 2 that are losing £500 a month, and you'll make a lot more money and redeploy it into properties that are going to make you more money, right? And obviously you just probably go and look to find stuff that is making similar to the ones that are doing well, right? Other numbers are available, by the way, before anyone jumps all over that. Okay, so that's that. So we're definitely going to do a bit of consolidation, because we're living back in Plymouth now. We might well look to move some of the Swansea properties that we've got, sell them, and then just reinvest down in Plymouth, and economies of scale, as soon as we're down here, might be easier. All right, so other stuff you can do. Other stuff that you can do to make more money. Definitely keep an eye on your mortgage interest rates, right? Well, I mean, we've had situations where it was an HMO mortgage in particular, but it went off the fixed rate and went from £600 a month to £2,500 a month. Okay, and obviously that got our attention, and because you don't always just go to the standard variable rate when you come off your fixed. Sometimes it takes you to much higher. You've got to read the terms and conditions. It takes you to much higher than the standard variable. You've got to be careful. And the problem would be if it only went up a bit and not too much. But add that up over a year, and then that can compound that, and that's a lot of money that it's costing you, right? So you've got to always make sure that you're getting the best interest rate that is available in the market. You don't have to. We've got several brokers, and we quite often give different brokers the problem to solve and see who comes up with the best product. And you don't always have to pay brokers either. Quite a lot of them just get paid if they find you a good deal from the lenders, right? Okay, so interest rates, really, really important. Energy, okay, so you've got to constantly be looking at what tariffs are out there and what deals are out there, and then if you can get with the same supplier for if you've got both gas and electric, and do that. And we often use a broker, and you can get commercial rates for your energy for HMOs and serviced accommodation, which is cheaper than the residential tariffs. Yeah, you got to pay that, but net you're better off more often than not on the commercial rates, and you've just got a one-stop shop as well to deal with the energy companies if you've got them all with a broker or a particular commercial energy broker, right? So that makes life a lot easier. I don't know, we've all lost years of our life trying to get through on the phone to energy providers, and if you've got quite a lot of properties, and sometimes it's difficult. I've got a VA, and but sometimes it's difficult getting the proper permissions for VAs to speak on your behalf, and even though you've done that previously, they seem to have lost that permission for that VA to speak to the energy people. So it can take your time, right? It can be a pain, but you definitely shouldn't bury your head in the sand and just avoid going through the pain to speak to the energy companies and to try and make sure you're on the better tariffs. Because like I say, if it compounds over years and years, that's a lot of money. Energy prices are high these days. I've turned properties like HMOs especially, I've turned those into serviced accommodation, because what people don't understand is just how much less you pay in energy with serviced accommodation versus HMO, because HMOs, tenants have got every device turned on known to man, and they'll go out leaving everything on, won't they? And they have got the heating on full blast even when it's hot, you know, with the windows open, sat in their pants, you know, because they're too hot. But and most HMOs, tenants rent bills included, and therefore they literally don't give a shit about the energy prices. So when I've turned HMOs into service accommodation, my energy prices have dropped significantly. So you've got to work out the net profit, you know, and your profit and loss when you're factoring in the SA income versus a lot less energy bills as well. So that's definitely worth considering. And larger houses work very well for larger groups of people, funny old thing. And it's the larger groups of people, say groups of contractors and trades, who will stay for long periods of time because they might have the contract to do the new build developments, etc. So they might be staying for a long time. And then therefore you've got long-term bookings in your serviced accommodation. You're just sending the cleaners in to do mid-stay cleans, right? So again, serviced accommodation, got a car beeping its horn like mad, I'll wait for it to go away. So again, service accommodation guests often are out all day, aren't they? So they're going out in the morning and they're coming back at night time to sleep, and they turn up with a phone charger, don't they? Or a laptop charger. So they're not using loads and loads of energy in your property, and they're staying for long periods of time, and all you're doing is doing mid-stay clean. So think about your HMOs, turning those into service accommodation as well. If there's enough demand in the area for a larger property, then it's definitely worth considering. And then another one, okay, I'll finish on this because I could go on, is getting yourself off council tax. Because with service accommodation, you can qualify for business rates, okay? And in an awful lot of places, I mean, I'm going to get off this busy road in Piccadilly Circus here. In an awful lot of places, in Wales, for instance, people are ending up on a double council tax because local authorities are putting that in. And so what you should definitely do is apply for business rates. As long as you're occupied over 50% of the year, then you can apply for business rates. And oh great, I'm going to where there's noisy scaffolding going on. And so therefore you're not going to be paying council tax or double council tax. You go on to business rates, and then what you do is you apply for small business rates relief, and you pay neither. Okay, so the amount of money that we've saved over the years, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds compounded just by keeping an eye on the profit and loss. So lots of different things there that I've shared with you. Hopefully it's useful. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions on any of that stuff. My PA and VA will post this out on different platforms. So however you are seeing this video, obviously comment away and I'll endeavour to answer you when I get back round to it. So here's to your success in property and service accommodation, and from me, the Property Soldier, remember, your future prosperity needs you. Take care.